On this planet, there are places where simply looking down is enough to make people turn their faces away. Steep cliffs that pierce through the clouds, suspension bridges hang in the middle of empty space, roads stretching hundreds of kilometers across lands with no sign of life. In those places, a vehicle does not only need a powerful engine, a driver does not only need experience, they need something else, calmness in the face of fear. Because on these roads, nature does not allow humans to make mistakes. A sudden skid, a wrong turn, a single moment of distraction, it can transform an ordinary journey into a fight for survival. These are not stories created to frighten people. These are real places. Roads that exist every single day, places where people still have to travel through to stay connected with the world. But every time they make it across, it is another time they face the limits of themselves. Hidden deep in the northern mountains of Pakistan is a road that makes many people feel a chill down their spine just by looking at it. Fairy Meadows, a place with a name that sounds incredibly peaceful and beautiful. But the road leading there is the complete opposite. It does not look like an ordinary route. It looks like a thin scar carved into the side of a massive mountain. The road is so narrow that it is only wide enough for a single vehicle to pass. On the left is a cold, towering cliff. On the right is a drop hundreds, even thousands of meters deep. There are no barriers, no guardrails, nothing to protect travelers from the empty space below. Every time the wheels roll across the rough surface, drivers understand one thing. They cannot afford to make a mistake. A falling rock, a wheel slipping out of position, a sudden sharp turn. Everything could end within seconds. But the most terrifying thing is not the height. It is the feeling of knowing that you are in a place where every mistake comes with no chance to be corrected. If Fairy Meadows is a battle against the abyss, then the Karakoram Highway is a battle against the giant mountains themselves. This road connects Pakistan and China. It cuts through the Karakoram Range, one of the highest and harshest mountain regions on Earth. Some sections of the road are located at nearly 5,000 meters above sea level. At this altitude, the air becomes thinner. Every breath becomes more difficult. The human body begins to slow down. But the real dangers are still waiting ahead. The mountains here are never truly still. Heavy rain, melting snow, earthquakes, all of them can trigger sudden landslides. A rock weighing several tons can fall without any warning. A road that was safe yesterday could disappear the next day. The Karakoram Highway is proof of human determination, but it is also a reminder that nature is always stronger than we imagine. In many places, danger comes from things humans can see. But at Yilla Pass, the most dangerous enemy is invisible. It is the altitude. Located in the Himalayas, this area sits more than 3,500 meters above sea level. The thin air makes it harder for vehicle engines to operate. Heavy trucks struggle through every section of the road, but humans are not any better. A lack of oxygen can make the body exhausted, slow down reactions, reduce the ability to concentrate, and on a road that is only wide enough for two vehicles to pass each other, just 1 second of delayed reaction can become a disaster. When two massive trucks face each other between the mountain walls, no one wants to be the one who has to reverse, because behind them may be nothing but a deep abyss. Among the tropical forests of Bolivia, there is a road that once terrified the entire world, the Yungas Road. It was once known as one of the most dangerous roads in the world, not because it was too high, not because it was too long, but because every dangerous factor appeared at the same time. Dense fog, constant rain, slippery roads, a deep abyss right beside the wheels. In many sections, drivers could not see more than a few meters ahead. They had to rely on experience, rely on instinct, and sometimes rely on luck. The most haunting thing about Yildiz was not the scenery, it was the small crosses standing along the roadside. They stood silently in the forest, reminding everyone that there were people who once travelled through this place, but never came back. Not every dangerous road is created by nature. Some places are dangerous because of the journeys humans themselves have built. The Guoliang Tunnel in China is one example. Many years ago, a group of local villagers decided to carve a path through the mountain. They had no massive machines, no modern technology, only human strength and determination. After years of hard work, a tunnel stretching more than 1 kilometer finally appeared. But hidden behind the beauty of this achievement was a terrifying feeling. A narrow road, dim lighting, windows opening directly toward a deep cliff. As vehicles passed through, people inside could see the space right beside them, a structure that represents human determination, but also a place that makes anyone crossing it hold their breath. There are places where you do not need speed, you do not need vehicles, you only need a single step. The Hussaini Bridge in Pakistan is such a place. Old wooden planks connected by cables, strong winds make the bridge constantly shake. Below is a cold river rushing through. When you step onto the bridge, the human body immediately reacts. The heart beats faster, the hands grip the ropes tighter, the brain continuously warns you that you are standing in a dangerous place. But you still have to keep moving forward because the longer you stop, the stronger the fear becomes. In Switzerland, the Trift Bridge lies in a landscape so beautiful it almost seems impossible. But that beauty comes with fragility. This suspension bridge hangs high above a glacier lake. There are no walls to protect you, no shelter to hide in, only cables, steel, and a vast space. When strong winds blow through, the entire bridge begins to move. Every step makes it shake. And at that moment, humans realize, amid the vastness of nature, we are only small creatures trying to keep our balance. Not every dangerous journey takes place among high mountains or deep abysses. Sometimes danger appears in the most familiar trips. In Bangladesh, during peak periods such as major festivals, the demand for transportation rises far beyond the available capacity. Trains that are already packed with people still have thousands of passengers trying to get on by any means necessary. And this creates an unbelievable scene. People fill the rooftops of trains, they hold on to windows, they hang from narrow steps. Below them are tons of metal rushing forward at high speed. Above them are electrical wires. On both sides are trees and obstacles that could appear at any moment. Just one strong shake as the train enters a curve. One moment of losing balance. A hand loosens its grip, and that person could disappear within just a few seconds. The most terrifying thing here is not the speed of the train. It is a fact that thousands of people are forced to gamble with their own safety just to make it home. The massive train continues rushing forward, carrying dreams, hopes, but also carrying the fragile line between a journey and a tragedy. Somewhere else in the world, there is a train that does not pass through cities. It does not travel through crowded areas. It cuts through one of the harshest places on Earth, the Sahara Desert, the Mauritania Railway, a train stretching for kilometers, connecting remote regions of this country. But this is not a train with comfortable passenger carriages. Many people have to sit directly on cargo wagons carrying iron ore. No roof, no air conditioning, no protection from nature. During the day, the sun turns the desert into a massive furnace. Heat covers everything. Sand and dust enter the eyes, mouths, and lungs. But when night falls, the Sahara becomes terrifyingly cold. Across hundreds of kilometers, the only sound is the wheels of the train hitting the tracks. No stops, no help nearby. A fall into the endless sea of sand could mean disappearing without anyone ever knowing. This is not just a train journey. It is a test of human endurance. Some places make people stop because they are too beautiful. But there are also places where that very beauty hides a deadly danger. Taroko Gorge in Taiwan is one of them. Massive limestone cliffs were carved by water over millions of years. The road runs through towering walls of stone. From a distance, it looks like a masterpiece created by nature. But hidden within that breathtaking beauty is an unstable geological area. Heavy rain can trigger falling rocks. Even small tremors can cause massive stones to break loose and fall. Drivers must move slowly, not because the road is difficult to travel, but because they know that above their heads there is always a danger waiting. A rock could fall at any moment without warning, without any sign. Taroko reminds humans that the most beautiful places are sometimes the places that require the greatest caution. In Turkey, there is a road that many drivers consider a true challenge, Bayburt D915, a road located among high mountains with countless dangerous turns, not ordinary turns, but a series of sharp bends on narrow and slippery roads, no barriers, no safety zones, only the vehicle and the abyss. In some sections, drivers have to reverse for dozens of meters just to get enough space to turn around. If they encounter another vehicle coming from the opposite direction, someone has to give way. But to do so, they may have to reverse along a narrow road right beside the edge of a cliff, in the fog, in the rain. Under conditions where visibility is almost zero, Bayburt D915 does not require speed. It requires absolute precision, because this place does not forgive carelessness. Between South Africa and Lesotho lies a road that is not meant for weak vehicles. Sand Pass, a road climbing to an altitude of nearly 3,000 meters. From a distance, it looks like a giant snake winding around the mountainside. Rocks, steep slopes, sharp turns. During winter, this place transforms into a frozen and dangerous region. Strong winds can shake even vehicles weighing several tons. The engine must operate at full power. The tires must grip every centimetre of the road, because if you stop in the wrong position, the vehicle could lose control. Sani Pass not only tests the machinery, it tests the calmness of human beings. In New Zealand, there is a road that was built during the era of gold prospectors, Skipper's Canyon, a road carved directly into the side of a cliff, so narrow that two vehicles travelling in opposite directions can barely pass each other. On one side is the mountain. On the other side is a deep abyss. There is very little space to correct a mistake. Especially after heavy rain, the road surface becomes slippery. Vehicles must move slowly, step by step. In some sections, the wheels are only a very small distance away from the edge of the cliff. If a vehicle encounters another one at the narrowest point, one of them has to give way. It could mean reversing for dozens of meters. It could mean hundreds of meters on a winding road with no clear end. Skipper's Canyon feels like a doorway back to the past, a place where humans still have to face the challenges created by nature. In Alaska, there is a highway stretching through a frozen wilderness, the Dalton Highway, hundreds of kilometers long, passing through areas with almost no human settlements. This is not a place for ordinary journeys, because the greatest challenge is not only the road, it is the distance from everything. No gas stations, no cities, no quick assistance. During winter, snowstorms can appear without warning, visibility disappears, temperatures drop dramatically. Massive trucks passing through create clouds of blowing snow that cover everything. If a vehicle breaks down, time becomes the enemy. The Dalton Highway does not attack you. It simply makes you realize how small you are in the middle of endless nature. We have traveled through the highest cliffs. The bridges are shaking in the middle of the sky. The endless deserts with no stopping point. The frozen regions cold enough to defeat even machines. But behind all those terrifying places, there is another story. The story of humanity, about the desire to connect, about the desire to explore places that seem impossible to exist. These roads remind us that humans can build bridges across deep abysses. They can carve paths through towering mountains. They can overcome the harshest lands on Earth. But nature will always keep one absolute power, the power that forces us to remain humble. Because in the end, during this journey across the vast earth, we are not truly conquering nature. We are only learning how to walk alongside it.